Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. As a habit, I always push go live before I am ready to go live without fail 100% of the time. I wonder what it's like to be the person who has everything set out and then they're ready to go. And then they hit go live and they're prepared and everything else. Okay, if you see me sweating, just ignore it. I got my second COVID shot yesterday, and it's making me sweaty. Well, at least I feel sweaty, and I have a really bad headache. So ignore the pit stains. They're just going to be here with us today. My eyeballs also hurt. I have a headache with eyeballs. My eyeballs are hurting. Okay. But regardless, I know there's lots of opinions about what shall not be named on social media because then they'll flag your video. But we're all friends here and we love each other no matter what we think about anything that has happened over the last 18 months. Okay, or however long it's been. Let's talk about contouring because that is a safe place with no judgment. I am going to put some stuff on my lips because it really distracts me. I have dry, wrinkly lips during a video because the whole time I'm like, everyone's just looking at the dry skin on my lips. I'm not looking at my face. Okay, so let's swatch a couple of contours and just talk about them a little bit. This is Astoria. This is what I like to use, and we're just gonna swatch it on there. Next to it, I am going to put a bronzer because let's just talk for a second about the difference between contour and bronzer. Okay, so there's the two. This is the contour, this is the bronzer. I hope you can see it good, but this, you can see the red undertones. It's a lot warmer. Bronzer is intended to warm up your face and not really sculpt it. So you can think of contour more of like shadows and sculpting your face, whereas bronzer is like warm sunshine, like you just got a tan. It's supposed to look like a tan. And you also put it in those places where you would get a tan, which I guess you tan all over, but we're doing it strategically. Okay, so then let's look at some other colors of contours because looking at your face, you want to complement your own skin tone and contrast it enough for the contour shape so that you get the most bang for your buck. So this is olive. I used to use olive a lot. I'm just gonna get a little bit on my finger. And the nice thing is that contours are very, very flexible. So you can see can you see the difference between these two? They're very close. All the contours are a dark brown color. Heck, even if you used the Bella bronzer, they're all brown. So you're just gonna put the brown on. What you want to avoid is when you swatch it on your skin that it doesn't look orange and that you're getting enough contrast to have it be worth it. So like this is walnut, this is very light. And you know what guys, I could also wear walnut. So I don't want you to get so caught up in having the exact right color when really they're all brown. Just put some brown on your face, but you can tweak it a little bit. So this would be for like a very fair girl. And do you see how it's not as red? It has a lot less red. Stop listening to me, watch. It has a lot less red in it. So I really could even contour with the walnut. So let's get to work, okay? So here's a couple different options. I'm telling you right now, if you have olive contour or Astoria contour, it probably looks perfect. So let's look at the color first. I am gonna just dip a little bit of my brush into a little bit of the walnut. And let's talk about face shape a little bit. So everybody has different face shapes. You can see I have a very round face, kind of. It's like it's not oval. Oval, I would have a much smaller forehead. Like this way forehead, a much skinnier profile. But like when I put on sunglasses, I have to buy men's sunglasses pretty much because my head is so wide right here that it gives me a major headache if I try to wear women's sunglasses. They always pinch my head. So I know I have a little bit of a rounder face where it's like squished this way and a little bit more round because sunglasses hurt my face. If you don't have that problem, if you have a longer, skinnier face, or you feel like you don't have this part of your chin pointing down where it's like pretty even, like a square face or a rectangle face. Basically what you're gonna do with your contour is you're gonna make your face look how you want it to look. So for example, on my cheeks, because I am so round, I feel like my cheek area is very large. So if I'm gonna go to all the work to contour, which is not very much work, but if I'm gonna go to the effort to contour, I want What I want to do is I want more definition in my cheeks instead of feeling like I have like little round cheeks right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a contrasting color, which would be a cooler color, and I'm going to put it right underneath my cheekbone and blend it out. Guys, this is walnut. Do you see that? It's like, it would be a great starter one just to have a really like a great starter contour, and you can see it's really light. But when you look to the side, do you see how it kind of gives me a little facelift and a little more definition? So the reason I don't use walnut all the time is because I feel like I need a little bit more drama to actually give my lift. If you guys are late on, just ignore my sweaty pits. It is medicine related. Okay, so I'm gonna get a little bit of my regular one and I'm gonna put it in the same exact place, but it's just a little bit darker and a little bit more dramatic, and you'll be able to see it from the front profile a little bit more. So if you want a super natural makeup look, so do you see how you can see the difference now? This darkness right here changes the shape of my cheekbones. Okay, and so when you look to the side, you just see more cheekbones. You're creating a shadow. So if you have a rectangular face and you want to shape your face in not a rectangle, but to have cheekbones, what you want to do is you want to look at yourself and you want to say, okay, where do I want my cheekbones to pop? Where do I want my definition? And my guess is with a rectangular face, you're going to want to add more curves into your face. So what I would do is I would get a little bit of contour on just the edge of my contouring brush and a little bit on the small end of my contouring brush. So this is the Detail Hack brush. And I would even come in here and kind of make like a Nike swoop sign right here. Because if you feel like your face is boxy, then you want to add more curves. So basically contouring is going to just shape your face and boost whatever you've got there. And you've got to be really careful when you scoop out your cheekbones this way. So do you see how it's rounded? Do you see the difference? Like this just gave my face a lift. This is like, boop, it gave me like a little apple on my cheek right there. So you just have to be careful because you don't want to pull your contour in your mustache area. Just don't give yourself a mustache. I've never once had a girl come to me saying, you know what, how can I contour so it looks like I have a mustache? Don't do that. So you can just draw on your face. Don't get scared if you feel like you are Willy Wonka with like a handlebar mustache. This is kind of fun because it's okay. So then with your contour on your forehead, instead of where I just like go swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy to kind of shrink down the size of my forehead and draw that attention to my eyes, what you might do if you feel like you have a boxy or a rectangle head is bring your contour a little bit more in on the corners right here, just to give you all this face shape. Okay, and then you can also come up and bring your contour. You're just creating shadows to shape your face. So if you feel like you have a very straight across chin, you can add more contour right here, but not on the tip of your chin. Because do you see how that shadow, we're just creating shadows and it creates optical illusions all over the place. And so I can just put my contour here and here, but not on my chin, so that I get just more curves, bumps, texture, difference, not just boxy or square-y. So it really accentuates my chin now, which I don't usually do that part. So that's a fun game. Okay, so then that's it. That's it. You can play around with your contour, but what you got to do is you got to look at your face and you've got to say, okay, I feel like I have a fill in the blank face. I want it to be a little more fill in the blank, and then you just get to draw it on your face. And start with your contour first, because if you put it on second, you can get real intimidated. But guys, I could go buck wild with my contour right now because I have naked, my skin is naked other than this contour, okay? So I can just like go wild and say, okay, I want to scoop out my cheekbones right here. I want like a lot of accentuating right there. I'm going to dive in and I found my Aspen. This is Aspen Contour, also very pretty. And what's cool about Aspen is you get just a tiny bit on your brush and you can just feather it on any redness and it eliminates redness. It canceled out so much stuff. It's great. As soon as I stop touching my nose, every time you touch your face with your brush, you're increasing the blood flow to that area So if you're applying your makeup and you're like, there's more redness, cover up, redness, cover up. You got to let your skin have a minute to just rest. So just trust the process. I put on a tiny bit of this is Aspen Contour, super dark, right? But it doesn't look dark on my nose. Do you see that? It just canceled a lot of the redness. And look at that cheekbone popping over there. Go, contour, go. And then just let it be for a minute. Just let it rest for a few minutes, and then you'll see everything starts to mellow out. The blood flow goes back to normal, and you'll see a lot less redness. Then what you can do is go in and fill in the blanks with your highlight color, because then you get to clean up your face and have it look exactly how you want it to look. So I'm making sure that I don't really touch any of the contour areas, but I am going to be very careful around my mouth area, that I brighten around my mouth. And it gives me the chance to make sure that I did not give myself a mustache with my contour. And do you see this? Like, that's a harsh line. I wouldn't want to walk out looking like that, but I'll show you how to fix it. I'm also going to leave my contour alone that I just did on my jawline. And I'm just going to fill in the rest of the blanks. And you can see it looks kind of crazy, huh? It's okay. I'm putting just the teeniest, tiniest bit. I also want to emphasize that when you are using this makeup, I want you to just think the whole time, I'm being very strategic. I'm being very strategic. I am not slapping on makeup without thinking about it and just hoping for the best. I'm going to be very strategic. So when I'm putting on my makeup, I don't have to slap it on the whole wall of my face all at the same time, because it just has to be washed with everything. No, know what you want to do. In here between my brows, I have some wrinkles. I have some pores that show through, but I don't have a lot of redness, so I don't need a ton of foundation right there. And then when I move my face all day, because I don't have Botox, I want as little makeup up there as possible. And plus, spoiler alert, the less makeup you have on your face, the better the matches, because it's more your skin than makeup. So you don't have to have the same amount of makeup on your skin all over your face. Customize it. Put just the teeniest, tiniest bits in those places where you don't need a whole lot of coverage. You just need a really light, and sheer out that cream super light. It's going to wear more comfortable, and you're going to be happier with it. It'll just kind of filter it out where you want it to be filtered. But underneath my eyes, where I want a lot of coverage because I feel like I look like a zombie most of the time, and then I've got sunspots on the edges, I'm going to actually double up coverage because I'm being strategic. I want brightness under my eyes, but I want to look natural and not cakey anywhere. So by just being really strategic, and I'm also going to pat some on the sides of my nose, we're just still eliminating any redness. Okay, so I still don't look blended. I still look like a crazy person. Don't walk out to the store and say, Jessica Perez taught me to do my contour like this, okay? We're not done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure the back of my brush is really clean, and I'm going to have a very light hand. I need to turn so you can see. I'm just going to tap. I'm not swiping. I'm not circling. I'm just smashing. I'm gently smashing these two edges together. And you see how that softened it up and it lifted my face and it gave me that little perky little cheekbone right there. At least one part of my body is still perky. I'll let you imagine the rest of all the things that are not perky, but the list is long. So I'm not swiping or moving it. I'm just smashing the two edges together just to soften it. And the same thing on my forehead. Just tapping. Tap, 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 tap. Okay? That's it. And then I wiped my hand off. Sorry, I do that a lot and you can't see it under the camera because I just do it absent-mindedly. But I'm going to wipe off under there and come tap around my eyes. And I'm going to get really close so that you can see that the longer you wear this makeup, the smoother it lays. And the more you take care of your skin, the smoother it lays. So I live in the humid, hot Alabama South, and I always moisturize in the morning. And I let it sit for a good time so it's all soaked up. If you feel like you have oily skin, go ahead and put on this milk cream moisturizer. It has jojoba oil in it, so it's going to help regulate your skin's oil production. But then in the meantime, don't be scared if you were like, I'm going to be a grease factory by the time this day is over. Just swirl your brush in a little bit of setting powder and go under all your highlight areas. It will look a little bit more matte at first, which is a really big bummer to me. I don't like looking matte, but as the day goes on, it'll soak up any extra oils, and my makeup still lays super smooth. That's what I got for contouring. I hope that helped. I am going to put a little bit of blush on, and then I'm going to hop off. And the sweaty pits are still there. This is weird. This is real weird. Okay. If you're just hopping on, I've shared my sweaty pits multiple times in this video, which I could have just held my arm down and nobody would have even known, but I know it's there, so I feel like you need to know it's there. I took some medicine yesterday and it is making me sweaty today. Okay. Dun, da, da. That is Summer Love blush. If you want a really light blush that just gives you a little bit of pop on those cheekbones we just created, Summer Love is fabulous. Okay, that's contouring. So no matter what color you're using, you saw me use this one, you saw me use this darker one. I could even go over with a little bit of Bella, but I'm not going to. It's not so much about the color, it's more about you being strategic about your face. So it just takes a lot of practice. It's just makeup. Don't be afraid to blend everything out when you're done, to be like, okay, that didn't work. I'll try again tomorrow. And I'm just going to blend the heck out of this today. The less tension you feel in your chest about contouring, the better. Just like take a deep breath, say it's just makeup. I'm beautiful even without the makeup. So I'm just going to put it on and enjoy the process, and you'll be so much happier with the process too. Okay. I hope you guys have a fabulous Thursday.